Hey, if you're a hairstylist, a nail technician at a salon, or a barber, you might be wondering, how much sales can I generate in a week, a month, or a year? And what we have done is put together a really simple spreadsheet tool to help you calculate exactly what it would take for you to be able to generate, in this case, up to $3,000 a week in weekly sales. And then ultimately, if you're a salon owner with like a booth rent model or a chair rent model, you might want to know how much revenue can the salon generate based on the number of chairs you have available for rent and the production of those stylists or technicians. And so we're going to show you exactly how to be able to calculate all of that. My name is Adam Huxema. I'm the co-founder of ProjectionHub, and we help entrepreneurs create financial projections for potential investors, lenders, and just for internal planning. And in this video, we're going to walk through this free template, which we're going to link to in the description of the video below, and hopefully really help you just get your financial planning in order for your salon. So let me get you started here. The first thing I want to show here is that we can add the number of hours per day and the number of days that you expect to work in a week. So we've got this set as 8 hours and for 5 days. And then you'll see here that based on those assumptions, we have the number of appointments per day and per week that we expect you to be able to do. And that's based on this information down here. So let me walk you through this table. What you're going to need to do is put the type of appointment that you expect to provide, the services you expect to provide. So we've got 4 here as an example: a simple haircut, a custom haircut, a cut and color, and a cut and chemical treatment. And we can see the price level for each of these here and the amount of time that we expect it to take. So if we think it's going to be a 20-minute appointment, we put in 0.33 hours, represents a 20-minute appointment. And then over here we have the cost of the product that you'd be using in the appointment. So this is kind of the cost of the supplies to provide the service. And then I've kind of waited for this to explain this last, but what you need to do here is show the breakdown of your appointments. And so all your appointments add up to 100% of appointments, you can see here, but tell us the breakdown. So our 10% of those, a simple haircut, 20%, a custom, and so on. Just make sure that whatever percentages you put in for each service, that the total adds up to 100. And you don't want to go over 100. So keep that in mind. Now, based on the numbers that we have in here, we would be generating a weekly revenue of $3,040. And then backing out our supplies costs that are calculated here. And so in a 40-hour work week, generating $3,000 in sales. Now, of course, you need to think about whether can you actually charge these prices in your area, your location, your clientele. Do you have this customer base? And are the times correct? Does it really take only 20 minutes for a simple haircut? Does it really take 45 minutes for a custom? So make sure that those times are correct so that you can really know what is possible here. And then once you have that, now if you want to know, okay, what could I do on an annual basis? And what can I actually take home as a business? What you can do here is, if you have to share some of your sales with the salon, you could put in a percentage. So let's say the salon keeps 5% of all of your sales. Even if you're renting the booth, maybe they just take a commission. Some may do that plus rent. Many may just not take a commission at all. But you have the flexibility to put in both a commission and a booth rent amount. So then let's say you're paying $400 per week in booth rent. And then let's say we're also expecting that you'll be able to sell product and that your take home, the gross profit that you get to keep when you sell product, is $150 per week. So based on those things, what you're going to be able to do is see that you can have a weekly gross profit of $2,500 or $128,000 annually. Now, that's not all going home as spending money, because you are going to have some other business expenses like insurance and accounting help and other general business expenses as well. Now, let's say you are the owner of the salon and you have a number of booths available for rent, and you want to know how much revenue can you generate as a salon owner. What you can do here with this little calculator is, assuming that all your stylists, put in what you think your average stylist that's renting a booth in your salon is going to do. So let's say this is the average one, or maybe the average one really only works 3 days a week. Sometimes that's the advantage of being renting a chair, is that you can kind of make your own schedule and maybe work less. So let's say average weekly revenue per stylist is $1,800. And if you have 8 chairs available to rent, you charge $400 per week. And then you get to keep a, let's say 10% split of what the stylists bring in. Let's say you've negotiated that because you are doing some joint marketing for them, or just taking care of things in the salon, kind of the cleaning, or maybe some of the overhead type things that you're wanting to take a commission. If that's what you've negotiated, you could put that in here. You can also, many might not do that, and so you could have 0 here just as an example. And then how much do you, the salon owner, expect to generate in gross profit per week on product sales? So maybe your stylists are selling, rather than selling their own product at their booth, they're selling the product of the salon itself. And you expect to generate $300 in gross profit per week. Now, based on that, you can see a 8-chair salon with these assumptions can expect to generate an annual gross profit of $175,000. So if you have any questions about this, hey, feel free to reach out to me in the comments section of the video below, or reach out to us at support@projectionhub.com, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. All right, thanks.